Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me tonight for another cooking class sponsored by Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies. My name is Chef Dulce Jimenez. I'm a wellness chef, a cooking instructor, and also a certified health coach focusing on helping moms to be having a healthy pregnancy, and also for those people that are in remission of cancer or diabetes, also to help them how to eat better by cooking at home plant forward dishes. I am so excited to be here with you today because I have two amazing recipes using shrimp. Shrimp is very versatile. It's you can use it in or cook it in many ways, and they take whatever flavor you give it. So in this class, I'm going to make two different quick and easy recipes using shrimp. One is going to be a curry with coconut milk, shrimp, some veggies like cauliflower and spicy aromatics. And the second one is a take on a shrimp scampi with pasta or with zucchini noodles. And that also have a little bit of vegetables. You know me, I always have to put some veggies. So it's going to be with spinach and tomatoes and other amazing aromatics. So let's start by preparing the ingredients for the first recipe, which is the coconut shrimp curry, and it's inspired by Thai cuisine, which is different than Indian. The curry is a little bit different. The curry paste that I have and I'm going to use for this recipe, it has lemongrass and garlic and a little bit of chili, and it's amazing. It's very flavorful, very pungent. And that's what I like about the Thai food is it's a balance between the sweet and the salty and the spicy. So we also going to have some spicy Calabrian chilies. Besides being this a little bit spicy, this also, so it's very little. We're going to have obviously garlic. And you know, I love garlic and I always recommend you to have pureed garlic in your refrigerator. So always have this, and you can even freeze it. This is a very convenient way to keep your garlic. I'm going to add some jalapenos as well. That's going to be fiery. And I'm going to use coconut aminos and soy sauce, both, because soy sauce is very salty. The coconut aminos is a little bit less salty. It's actually kind of sweet. So if I use just coconut aminos, it's going to be too sweet. And if I use just soy sauce, it might be too salty. And we're going to use fire roasted tomatoes, which I buy in pouches or in can. But if I buy it in can, I use it, I purchase it low sodium and as much as I can organic. You can also roast your tomatoes in the oven and use roasted tomato that you make at home. And you're going to have lemon juice, of course. You always have to put some lemon juice in curries and when you're using seafood. And I'm using a very good organic coconut milk. And very difficult to find good coconut milk in the market. They all have sunflower oils or gums or a lot of preservative. When you get them organic, read the label. It should be only coconut, organic coconut, and water. That is a good coconut milk. And that's the one I'm using today. And I'm going to put maybe a little bit of water. Let's see how it goes. So those are the ingredients. Oh, and I couldn't miss, we're going to be using the white part and the green part of the scallions. I love to put the herbs here in a pot and I put water and ice and I keep it in the fridge. I have cilantro, scallions, and here is for the second recipe, the parsley. And also I'm going to use some cilantro for this. And maybe even scallions. Scallions is family of the onion and the garlic. And I love because is going to also intensify the flavor of the garlic. It's going to help. And so I'm going to add that. And I use scissors to cut my herbs, super easy. So I'm going to put a bunch in here. That's the one we're going to use for this recipe. And when you're using fresh herbs goes at the end of cooking. Dry herbs or spices goes at the beginning of cooking. So the fresh herbs, you also don't cut them before too long before you start cooking. You cut them right when you're going to cook them. These are amazing spicy peppers that I bought as well. They look so pretty, so I'm not using them. But one trick that I do is many times when I buy the herbs like this, they will go bad really fast. So maybe this will cost me $3.99 or $4. And if I buy the pot, the herbs like this, it will last even more, and it could be even less expensive. So many times I just buy the plant and use the herbs from the plant. So now let's start cooking, guys. Another ingredient that we're going to add in the curry, which is the first recipe we will be making, is red peppers. Red bell peppers, it gives color and it's going to give a sweetness to the dish as well. And remember, when you're cutting, put your fingers in the back so you don't chop your fingers. Always make sure your cutting board is stable as well, so it's not moving around. And it doesn't matter if they're not equal cuts, because this is a curry and it's very homey recipes, and it doesn't matter if the slices are not perfect. I just want them kind of the same size. Okay, good. So let's start with our wok. I'm going to make it in a wok. I love this wok. They're amazing. And every time you start cooking, you need to add some water or oil into the pan. But you know that I always teach you to cook with less oil. And what I'm going to be using is water. So I'm going to put about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. And in here, I'm going to put my aromatics. So what are the aromatics? Are everything that will give aroma and flavor to the dish. And that is like the peppers and the onions and the garlic and spices. The spices always go at the beginning of the cooking process. So if you see, I have pretty high heat. I'm going to lower the heat, but I want my water to be hot. And I'm just putting a little bit at a time because I'm not boiling it. I'm using the water as I will use oil, but instead of oil, I'm using hot water. Or you can use stock, but the stock is going to give the flavor as well. So I'm going to let that cook for 30 seconds, and I'm going to add my scallions. And scallions, see, scallions have the white part and the green part. When you're using the white part always goes first because it's like raw onion. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the white parts first with the peppers and the garlic. So now I am putting the white parts with a little bit of green parts, but it's fine. I put some of the green parts outside. You see, I'm sauteing or stir frying, but instead of using oil, I'm using stir. So I'm stir frying, I'm sauteing my aromatic, start smelling. I'm gonna put jalapenos, which are aromatics as well. My garlic, I love garlic. I'm gonna put about 2 tablespoons of garlic. Yes. In this recipe, I am not putting salt because I am using soy sauce. I need to be very, very mindful not to make the dish salty. So I have my water and I keep putting a little bit of water so I don't let my pan to burn my vegetables. Wow, I wish you have smell to smell the aromas. So great. So this is called like making a sofrito in Caribbean or Latin food, and also in Asian and Italian. Every cuisine starts making some kind of sofrito. Some have used staple ingredients like garlic and onions and green peppers and maybe cumin and coriander, like in my Dominican cuisine. We always put those aromatics and those spices in mostly everything. So it's getting soft and it's very flavorful. I can see that this water has so much flavor, and I'm going to take advantage of that. Okay, I'm going to lower the heat because I don't want the vegetables to burn and I don't want the water to evaporate and I don't want to keep adding too much water. Okay, so I'm going to add, this is very spicy, so I'm using just, actually I was going to put all that, but I think I'm going to use even less because I have also jalapenos. I went a little bit excited with the spicy there. You can also use, those are Calabrian chilies. You can also use like red pepper flakes, or if you don't have any problems in your stomach, you can use any other type of pepper that are more spicy, but that is up to you. And now I'm going to add the tomatoes. Actually, I'm going to add the cauliflower. So I took the cauliflowers and cut it in florets, is raw, and then I slice it. I don't want the cauliflowers too big, so I cut them as small as I can without disintegrating them, because they could disintegrate. And keep adding water and ensuring that that water is hot. Put it around your pot. I want to put the cauliflower now, so the cauliflower get the flavor as well of the aromatics. And actually, this is so. This is getting fantastic. And now we add everything else except the shrimp, because the shrimp is going to be like the last addition. Shrimp cook in 2 minutes. I want to cook everything first and make sure we have plenty of flavor here. Now I'm adding the curry paste, the red curry paste. You can get that in the supermarket. Make sure you get a good one that doesn't have a lot of weird words that you cannot pronounce and that you don't know what they are or understand. So now I want to make sure that the cauliflower is coated with, or is full of this spices and flavor, and it takes on those ingredients. but I don't want to let it cook too much because I don't want it mushy neither. Now, as soon as they're like that, it looks like has all the flavor from the other ingredients. I'm gonna add my coconut milk. Oh, I love the smell of this coconut milk. Now I'm gonna let it simmer. And simmering is almost boiling, but not quite. I'm gonna add the tomatoes. Okay. Wow, so amazing. I'm gonna let it bubble for a few minutes. Okay, and the last thing you're going to put is the lemon juice, your shrimp, and the soy sauce and cilantro. I'm gonna add it actually now. And I'm gonna add the rest of the scallion, not all because I want also a little bit at the end. I'm gonna make sure all the white parts are in so they cook. And I'm gonna add a little bit of cilantro now and a little bit at the end. So you impart the flavor while it's cooking, but also you have fresh ones on top. Never do that. Don't put your fingers in your in your knife like I do. I think I am lucky. I have never cut myself with those big knives, but they're very dangerous. If you use that type of knife, respect them. Okay, at this point, wow, that looks so beautiful. I'm going to taste it. Going to make sure that it has plenty of flavor, which I think it is. Oh, yes. Mm, it's perfect, guys. So here you have it. You have the aromatics, which is garlic, red peppers, the white part of the scallions. It has Calabrian pepper or red chili pepper. It has curry paste. It has 1 tablespoon of coconut aminos, which is this one. I love this. And it has 1 tablespoon of less sodium soy sauce. This is the one I get. I actually gonna put a little bit more because it needs a little bit of salt. And it has fire roasted tomatoes. And now we're going to let it bubble for about 3 to 4 minutes. And in those minutes, what I want to accomplish is to tenderize the cauliflower and the tomatoes. And I want it to get really, really flavorful raw because the last thing I'm going to add is my shrimp, which are already the vein and clean. And I get them raw, wild, and frozen. I don't buy any farm fish or seafood. I prefer to get them wild, even if I have to get them frozen. And it's super easy to defrost just before you're cooking them. Maybe an hour before, you can put them under cold running water in a colander like this. And they will defrost pretty quick. Then you keep it in the refrigerator until you're going to use them. And these are good size. So they don't disappear in the curry. So I'm going to use half for the curry and half for the other recipe. So the curry has been simmering or almost boiling because I wanted to see the bubbles. This is boiling, but I wanted to make it simmering. So it's a little bit slower and you still can see the bubbles, but it doesn't go to dry too quick because I don't want the sauce to dry, but I do want it a little bit thick. So it's getting there. I love it. Gonna, crush a little bit the tomatoes. And now I'm going to put the shrimp. I already tasted again. Taste it. Make sure you like the spiciness, that you like the saltiness. And it has a good combination between spice and saltiness and sweetness from the coconut. I'm going to put a little bit more of the garlic. Told you I love garlic. A little bit more garlic. Now I'm going to put half of this shrimp because the other half goes for the other recipe. Okay, maybe a little bit less because this has plenty of vegetables and the shrimp. This is the good thing about shrimp. Shrimp cooks in 2 to 3 minutes. As soon as you see them getting pink, they are done. You take them out because you really need them to be cooked, obviously. You want them cooked, but if you overcook them, they will get very hard and also it's not pleasant. You see, you can tell that they're getting okay already. They're curling a little bit more. Wow. So amazing. Look at that sauce. Oh, I love this. This is one of my favorite dishes. I love curries. I love food with coconut milk. In Dominican Republic, and I know in the Caribbean, we use a lot of coconut. And I used to see my grandmother doing her own coconut milk and making her own dried coconut, opening her coconut, and we make coconut fish, coconut rice. Actually, we make rice and pigeon peas with coconut, which are amazing. Now I'm going to put the rest of the cilantro, and I'm going to put some chives as well. You can use your scissors to put the chives, or you can cut it with your knife as you wish. Chive is a family of the onions and the garlic, and I love that because it gives that combination of flavors. And the scallion is more oniony. So, wow. Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm going to turn it off. You want your seafood to be well cooked, but again, it is a fine line between well cooked and super dry and overdone. And the shrimp, they have that capability of being overcooked very quick. You see, we didn't put a lot of shrimp, but you can put a whole pound of shrimp for this dish. I don't eat a lot of shrimp, but this is mostly for me. And the other dish that I'm going to make now, which is garlic shrimp with pasta and spinach and sun-dried tomatoes. That dish is most for my husband because I don't cook, I don't eat a lot of pasta so I will eat this amazing curry with brown rice or a combination of brown rice and quinoa. And this is done, guys. Turn it off. Take it out of the heat, put it in a beautiful bowl. And that's it. I'm going to taste it one more time. And I'm going to see how the shrimps look. Yep, they're curled. They're pink. Wow. It's really, really good. Really delicious. Let me see. This big shrimp still like not completely cooked. I'm gonna keep it one more minute. But usually it's about 4 to 5 minutes, no more than that. I just don't want to, I want to make sure that my sauce doesn't reduce too much. Now we're going to put about a tablespoon of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Ladies, always fresh squeezed lemon juice, please, please, please. And it's a big difference when you squeeze your lemon yourself. And another splash of soy sauce. And that's it. We're done with that recipe. So here is the final dish. This is the curry. Look how amazing the aromas are. Amazing. I'm going to put a little bit more of the cilantro, small leaves of cilantro all around. I love cilantro. But I love all herbs. I love cilantro. I love scallion. I love all of them. And I will accompany this curry with a simple made quinoa with just salt and made in water. And I always put less water than what it says in the package, so it's not mushy. You see that this quinoa is like rice. When you put the 2 cups of water to 1 cup of quinoa, like most packages says to do, it becomes mushy. I put 1 cup of water and half a cup of one cup of quinoa to 1.5 cup of water. Okay, so I usually never follow the instruction from the package in terms of quinoa. So let's go over and start with the second recipe. So the second recipe is garlic shrimp with pasta or with zucchini noodles if you want. So let's talk about first the zucchini noodles. I love pasta, but I cannot eat a lot of pasta and I don't eat pasta at night. But so I have been looking for different alternatives. For this dish, if you're going to do it with the pasta, just make your pasta al dente. Al dente means that it's not completely cooked. So we're going to leave it cooked, but hard, al dente. So you're still feeling it when you buy the pasta, it's not mushy or it's not completely done. So that's what it means al dente. So you're going to keep it on the side. That's the first thing you're going to do. And then you're going to put all your ingredients together. This one, the aromatics for this dish is white, red onions or yellow onions, very small dice. Sun-dried tomatoes. When I buy sun-dried tomatoes, I buy them packed in a pouch with oil, without oil. So it's not greasy and I prefer it this way. This is about 1/4 cup of sliced sun-dried tomatoes. They're delicious. You can snack on them. You can also, again, make your roasted tomatoes at home in a 400-degree oven with salt and pepper, regular Roma tomatoes sliced, and you can cook them for about 45 minutes, and you can roast it and use it for this dish as well. And I love roasted tomato. I have it at home every week as on my meal plan, and I put it in soup and salads and pasta and whatever I'm making. Also, shredded Parmesan or grated Parmesan. Please don't buy that one that comes in a plastic container with a green label. I don't want to say name, but please, that is really not a good Parmesan cheese. I buy them in blocks and then I grate them myself, or buy them in an Italian market that they grated right there fresh. So it's about half a cup of Parmesan, and this is key for this recipe. Then a blend of dry Italian herbs. So Italian herbs, when you buy them in the store like that, they're called Italian herbs, is a combination of oregano and thyme and basil. So what I do is I always have those herbs at home, and I make the combination myself, like 1 teaspoon of each, and then you blend them and you have your Italian herbs. Remember that when you're working with dry herbs, they always go at the beginning or in the middle of the cooking, not at the end like fresh herbs that they go at the end of the yeah, when you finish cooking, when you take it out of the pan, or just at the end, right? And also when you're using dry herbs, you have to put it in your hands and rub it in your hands so they release their oils. Oh my God, and the aromas are amazing, but you should like crush them. You can do it with your fingers or you can do it in the middle of your hand, but make sure you crush your dry herbs to activate the oils in them, okay? I'm going to use red chili peppers in this recipe because I don't want it spicy. I want it very garlicky and very flavorful, but not spicy. I'm gonna use about 2 cups of baby spinach, fresh squeezed lemon juice, and garlic. Two ways garlic. Okay, I'm gonna add garlic puree, the one that I told you that I always have in my refrigerator. Is when I puree, I put a little bit of olive oil on top so it doesn't get moldy and it doesn't dry up. But when you use it, try to take the olive oil as much as you can. Okay, so I'm going to put that one at the beginning, and I'm also going to put shaved whole garlic. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to, what you do is you get a clove and you shave it very thinly. And this I'm going to put almost at the end because this is a garlic shrimp. So you want the garlic flavor to be prominent in every bite. If you like garlic, this is going to be amazing. So my trick for this, for the garlic, when you buy whole garlic and you peel it and you open it in the middle and you take this middle part in here, it's like a sprout, like it's coming out. I don't know if you can see it. This middle piece, I'm going to show you right now. You see? This is the sprout in the middle of the garlic. That gives you indigestion and it's very potent. It's like pungent and it's not great for your digestion or for the taste of the garlic. And before I puree my garlic in here, for this, I take all the insides, the little sprout that comes in the garlic. I know it's a task. I know a lot of people love to do, but you can sit down while you're watching a TV or series or something, and you can do it. And then once you have this middle out, then you're gonna cut it very tiny slices. You can do it just like this with your hand, or you can slice it in the cutting board. But I want thinly sliced. So they cook, but they don't burn. So that's why you're not going to put it at the beginning. I don't want them burn. I want them cook. So I'm slicing them very thinly. I have like 3 large garlic cloves here already sliced, so I think it's enough. Okay. I don't know if you have noticed when you go to Italian restaurant, well, besides you eating pasta, it's very heavy. So it's because they use a lot of garlic as well. And they don't think they do that process. So when you want to substitute your pasta with zucchini, I love zucchini noodles, and here you have the zucchini noodles. This is awesome. I love this tool. This is like a pencil sharpener. This comes like this. And you can, this is a spiralizer, that's the name. You can make different shapes. The one that I use the most is the noodle shape. And you just put half, I wash it very well in water and vinegar. And you just put it in like a sharpener. And look at this. You're making noodles. And you can make this with beets, with carrots, and it's fun for the kids as well. The kids can do this for you. And this, you can eat a ton of this, and it's not going to, give you that heaviness. You're eating a vegetable, and it's great for you. Plus, it will take whatever flavor you do. So what I do to my zucchinis is that I just put a little bit of lemon juice before I'm like, instead of cooking it, of course, I'm just put a little bit of lemon juice and I saute them a little bit before I'm going to eat them, just to warm them through. So you don't need them cold, and your shrimp is going to be hot, but then your zucchinis are going to be cold. So you don't want that. So what you do is you saute them in the pan, which I'm not going to do now because they go really watery, and they don't stay well if you cook them in a pan. So I like to do that at the minute when you're going to eat them. You can also sprinkle them with the herbs, and then you can keep it like this in your refrigerator until you're ready to use them. But I make zucchini noodles in advance, and you can keep it in the fridge for 2 to 3 days. Okay, so now that you know all the ingredients, let's start cooking. So this is the second dish, and we're gonna start with the aromatics like we did before and in every dish. And I'm going to put a little bit of the pasta water. I save some of the pasta water, about 2 cups. And in that water is I'm going to cook the aromatics. And the aromatics in this recipe are onion, just a little bit of onion because this is mostly a garlic dish. I'm going to put the garlic. I'm going to lower the heat of the stove, because I don't want my garlic to burn, not at all. And garlic burns very easily, and then it tastes better. Okay. So I'm gonna make sure I'm not burning. Yeah. I'm gonna have a little bit of olive oil this time, but not until the onions is cooked a little bit and the garlic. Now I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper in here in this pan. Okay, this is about a minute or so. I'm gonna add the dry herbs. So using water, that way you avoid being using too much oil. That doesn't mean you cannot use oil. However, all the oils are highly processed. It's very different to eat the olives than, use olive oil. When you eat the olives, you eat all the polyphenols and all the nutrients of an olive because it's natural oils. When you eat the olive oil, you're eating more calories and a processed food as well. And we don't need to eat a lot of oils. So I'm going to also cook the tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes. I'm gonna hydrate them again. Now I'm going to cook the shrimp. So again, here I'm gonna make sure the shrimp cook until they are pink. And now I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil, like about 1 tablespoon. And I'm going to add all the rest of the garlic. Going to season it again. A little bit of salt and pepper. This is going to take a few minutes, not too much. Wow. Smells so good. This is such easy and quick recipe because you don't have to cut that much. The only thing you have to cut is basically the sun-dried tomatoes and, prepare your shrimp and cook the pasta and have your spinach already done. You can also use cherry tomatoes if you want. It's going to be good with this recipe as well. Cherry tomatoes work really well. And the herbs that we will use will be basil and parsley. So those are the fresh herbs we're going to use in this recipe. In the previous recipe, we used escallion and cilantro and chive. We used 3 different herbs. And I love herbs because they bring nutrition, they bring flavor, and they have enzymes and micronutrients that the plants will give you and that we don't use too much. We should be using more herbs and spices in our everyday cooking. So you see, I want my garlic to impart all the flavor to the shrimp, but not to burn. And also cooking with water, besides avoiding to use too much oil, you are, letting your ingredients cook without burning well. So I'm trying to let the shrimp separate it so they get cooked faster. Okay. And they once they become like this small and pretty, you know that they're almost done. but raw shrimp are not pleasant, so they have a weird taste and they're raw, so you want them cooked very well. Wow, love this. Love this. Amazing. Wow. Smells amazing. So now they have been cooking for about 2 minutes. I'm going to put the spinach. I'm going to wilt the spinach. Fabulous dish. Garlic. We are very, very committed to garlic in this house. We love garlic. Now I'm going to put a few um, red pepper flakes, just a few. I'm going to finish the pasta water. Now I'm going to add the pasta. And the shrimps are cooked. So basically, you add in the pasta to warm the pasta because the pasta is already cooked. Lower the heat. And also to give the flavor to the pasta, and you're going to add also the lemon juice. I want to have a balance. I don't want to have too much pasta and not a lot of shrimp. I'm not going to put all the pasta. I think this is good. Wow. This is fantastic. Now I'm going to put the herbs and the Parmesan cheese. The parsley and the basil. Oh, I'm going to turn it off because it's like flying in here. This dish, wow, you can make it twice a week and it's going to be a hit in your house. I am sure. I'm going to put all the cheese, quite plenty of cheese. My husband loves cheese. If I were for me, I will put a little bit less, a little bit more, the dry herbs. And now I'm going to sprinkle with a little bit of olive oil, just so tiny bit, like half a teaspoon. And then I'm going to everything around. I already turn it off because I don't want it to overcook the pasta, the shrimp. A little bit more water. Mm. This is it, guys. This is an amazing dish that you can do in 15 minutes or less. Look how beautiful. This is amazing. If you're gonna use the zucchini noodles, what you do is just make the shrimp and then take half of it to use it in the zucchini noodles. Now I'm going to put a little bit of the lemon juice just at the end. Wow, this looks amazing. Plate, and we're done. Beautiful. Isn't that great? Wow. That is such a great dish and it's so easy to make. It's just 5 ingredients. It's delicious. And, it's good for you. You don't want to eat a whole pot, although I wish I can. That's been fantastic. Here you have it. This is the pasta with garlic and shrimp and sun-dried tomatoes. And you can also make the same dish before putting the pasta. You can divide it in two and make one with the zucchini noodles. And this is the second dish that we did. The first one, the shrimp curry, Thai inspired, that you can eat an amazing coconut curry with your shrimp, with brown rice, or with quinoa. So thank you for being here with me today, and I hope to see you in another class, or feel free to go to any of the other classes I have in the YouTube channel. Thank you guys. Good night.